Good morning, everyone. Give me a sound check online. Everything looks good. Happy Wednesday, November 9th, I believe. Yeah, November 9th. I hope you all are having a great morning. Hope you all are having a great day. I know we just got started. Let's just get a little business out of the way real quick. Tropical storm coming in. Insurance is basically shut down. You're not going to be able to bind any policies. So what does that mean for your buyers? What does that mean for your sellers? If you have any certain specific situations that you're dealing with, please give us a call. Let's walk through them, make sure everybody is okay. Everybody's comfortable with where they're at. So that's what's happening now. We won't be seeing too much of the effects, I think, until later tonight on the other side of the state and then into tomorrow. It's a little bit of concern with rising waters and some of the tides. I guess we have a really high tide coming Thursday night. So they were saying that maybe there might be some higher water on Thursday night, but nothing of major concern. So for those of you who don't know, hang on a second, I got this feeling stuck here. Okay, for those of you who don't know, there was about 20 of us that went down this past weekend to West Palm Beach to go to a Tony Robbins event called Unleash the Power Within. And every time I come back from that, I come back more fired up, more engaged, and just full of power, emotion, direction, energy. And I just want to deliver and pass some of that on to you. So that's what today is going to be, trying to pass some of that energy on to you, give you some thoughts and ideas to take off with, something that could kind of resonate, something that might kind of spark you to do a little bit of something different. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to get into some of the processes for just understanding why you do some of the things that you do, understanding where your business is, why your business is the way that it is, why you are the way that you are, and why you don't make some of the changes that you know you need to make. We'll kind of get over a general overlay on some of those. Next Monday, after the Monday morning meeting, Jeff and Craig are doing a mastermind at 9:30. We'll get an invitation out to you for that. And that's going to be, we're going to have a big ass smile challenge. If you don't know what puts a big ass smile on your face, that's what we're going to start talking about today a little bit. And that's what we're going to talk about on Monday. And we're going to continue on with that, because you can have anything that you want. Let me change that. This is going to sound counterproductive. For the amount of energy and belief that I've got right now, you can't have anything you want. Let me say that. You can't have anything that you want, because there's certain things that you can't have. But you can show up today and be everything that you are. And when you do that, you will get everything that you want. Just think about that. There's certain things that you can't fly. You're not going to be able to fly without any type of propulsion and other wings or anything like that, but you can get on a plane and fly. So you can show up and be everything that you are today in order to have everything that you want for yourself, everything that means something to you. So show up on Monday at 9:30, and then on Thursday at 11 a.m., I'm going to do a different approach to goal setting. I'm going to try and help you get more in line with your emotions, your feeling, who you are, and what you really want. Let me ask you this, please. Chat in here and tell me, how many of you online right now know exactly what you want, and you are so specific about it that it is absolutely clear to you what you want? If you were sitting right in front of me and I asked you, tell me, what are your goals? That you would articulate them so clearly, you'd be able to look me right in the eyes and say, my goals, I want to do this, and I want to do it by this time, and I'm going to do that because this is what I want. This is what it feels. This is the change it's going to make. These are the people it's going to affect. And this is how passionate I am about it, because this means so much to me. How many of you could do that? Chat in line and say yes. Tell me if you'd be able to articulate your goals in a very clear, concise, direct, passionate manner without studying, well, I think I want. I mean, I really like to. And I'm trying to do this, and well, I thought I would do a little bit of that. How many of you feel like you'd be able to do that? No, There's one. No. Anybody else? And if you say yes, the majority of you lie about other shit too. No. Anybody else? Anybody else feel like commenting it? See, most of you won't even say yes or no. You won't even commit to an answer of yes or I don't know. How do I answer that? Should I say yes? Should I lie and say yes? Should I say no? Because I don't know. So what I want to do on Thursday next week, not tomorrow, next week, is I want to help you come up with those ideas. I want to help you come up with those thoughts of what you really want. It could be business related. It could be personal related. But we want to really get deep down inside and connect you to your essence, your true being, where your energy is, and set some goals from there. Because we don't make decisions from a point of low energy. We don't set goals from a point of low energy. If you made decisions and set goals from a point of low energy, you're going to get low energy goals. You're going to get low energy outcomes. So we have to raise that level of awareness. We have to raise that energy up. We have to get you doing things spontaneously where you're not thinking about them, because if you get in your head, you're dead. If you start thinking about everything, you're going to give yourself every reason why you can't have those things. So we want to get you out of your head and get you into your heart and start making some more decisions from there, and use that energy to start setting the goals and ask you some really powerful, empowering questions as to why you want them, how it's going to change your life, what kind of difference it's going to make, what you ultimately could have, how it would feel when you're there, getting you to create goals from that place. Because most of us sit down and say, write down some of your goals. You're like, I don't know, I guess I want some more money. I don't know, I guess I want to lose a couple pounds. I mean, it'd be cool to travel. We kind of want a new car. How exciting is any of that? And if it's not exciting, why the hell would you do it? Let me ask you this. If you knew you were going to go to a concert and it was going to be absolutely boring, the music was going to suck, you weren't really certain of what was going to happen and how many songs they were going to play, how long it was going to be, who'd you be around? You know, well, I kind of don't know the area, I don't know the arena, I don't really know the music. I've heard it's really horrible. I don't think it's that great of an idea. There's really no energy in the room. How many of you would still show up? Yet that's the attitude that you're setting goals from, because you don't really know exactly what it is that you want. So that's what we're going to talk about next week on Thursday. So we're going to try and pair all of this together, try and get you really associated with your energy, emotion, some of your intentions, set some goals from your heart instead of your head that limits you, that has all these limiting beliefs in it, that makes you stop doing the things you're doing. Set them from your heart, and then go on this big ass smile journey over the next 4 to 6 weeks to try and work towards everything that you know you can have with a different set of beliefs. I know what I want. I need to make sure I do everything within my power to achieve it. Must. If plan A doesn't work, your goal, there are 25 more letters in the alphabet. Yep. And those things all sound good. But what happens when you are faced with the adversity, when you're first faced with the challenges, when you're faced with those things? You know, that's why we need some accountability. That's why we do the things we do with our constant training. So let's get talking. Share my screen. All right. So let's start off with this. How many of you know what it takes to be massively successful? Chat online, please give me some feedback. How many of you know what it takes to be successful? Say yes, no. I don't. Tell me. How many of you know what it takes to be successful? I know it. I know what it takes. And if I don't know it, I know I could find it. I know I can go look at it. I know I can search it. I know I can figure out what it is to be successful. How many of you know what it takes to be successful? Come on, guys, get a little bit of energy in here. Give me some feedback. I got 2 or 3 people that are chatting in here and giving some feedback here. If you really want to make a change in your life, you have to start answering some of these hard questions. You have to start answering these things and engaging with yourself. The reason you don't have all the things that you want in your life is because you keep avoiding facing all of these things that you know you should do. So let's just get these answers in your head. How many of you know what it takes to be successful? Yes? No? How many of you know? I know what it takes to be successful. Mostly know what it takes to be successful. Yes, I know what it takes to be successful. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. How many, anybody else? Do you know what it takes to be successful? Do you know what it's, yes or no? Do you know what it takes? Yes, you know what it takes to be successful. Anybody else? How many, who else? How many of you know what it takes to be successful? I'm not asking you to tell me what it takes to be successful. I'm asking yes or no. Do you know what it takes to be successful? Yes or no? Yes, 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 yes. You know what it takes to be successful. Every single one of you knows what it takes to be successful. You know what it takes to be successful in this business. You know what it takes to lose weight. You know what it takes to live the life you want. You know what it takes. So here's the big question. How many of you are successful? How many of you are successful? If I was asking you, are you successful? Tell me yes or no. Now that's the question here. Yes or no, are you successful? Yes. Yeah, I am successful. No, I don't feel successful. I would love to see the same amount of people who said, yes, I know what it takes to be successful, to answer this question. Yes, I am successful. No, I don't feel successful. No, no, not me, not yet. Still waiting. I will wait until you all decide that you're going to show up for yourself. Yes, however, there's always another level. Let's look, come on, answer the question. So we got 60 some people online right now. So how many of you will not answer these questions because you're afraid to face it? No, I lost focus. Yes, I am successful. No, but I know I can get there. Yes, but I feel I can always do better. Yes, yes, I am successful. For those of you who have said yes, what does success mean to you? If you are successful, what does it mean to you? Everybody's different with their definition of success. And first, in order for you to answer this question, you have to know what success means to you. You have to be able to define it. You have to be able to put it into words. You have to be able to write it down. It has to be an achievable thing that you know, when I get there, this is when I will feel successful. This is how I will be successful. You have to be able to define that. And for those of you who said, yes, I know what it takes to be successful. No, I am not successful, but no, I am not successful. Why is that? And even for those of you who said, yes, I know there's an area of your life that you do not feel successful, because I know all of you are overachievers and that you would never stop, but you may feel successful in one area, but there's other areas that you don't feel successful in. So for those of you, why don't you do the things that you need to do to feel successful? Because you all said, yes, I know what it takes to be successful. Everybody said that. Why don't you do it? Why don't we do it? Fear, lazy. Why is cacking? I'm assuming you mean lacking. At times knowing where to start. Belky, you just said, I know what it takes to be successful. So if you know what it takes to be successful, you should know where to start, right? Lack of focus. Yes, not all the time. I understand. I'm not trying to call you out. Just making points here. We all know what it takes to be successful. We all know what it takes to earn income. We all know what it takes to lose weight. We all know what it takes to be a good partner. We all know what it takes to be a good parent. We all know what it takes to be successful at anything. You can look it up, you can find it, you know what it is, but we don't do those things. And if we do, we constantly judge the things that we do on a daily basis. And it's not good enough. We didn't show up enough. I need to try harder. I'm not quite there. And even if you get it, one of us even said it online, even when I get there, there's another level. So if there's always another level, how are you going to go through life always feeling like this? Oh, I'm just not successful. I'm not there yet. I'm still working on it. I'm still pushing through it. I don't know. Maybe I'll be there when I feel this. I'm telling you, if your definition of success is I will feel success when this happens, you're never going to get there. Because when this happens, there's going to be another this on the other side. All you did was shift and change an identity. All of you have an identity about who you are. It's why you do the things you do. It's why you show up the way that you show up. It's why you work as hard as you work or not working as hard as you work. It's why you show up or don't show up. You have an identity of who you are. And the strongest force in the human brain and body is to stay consistent with who we think we are, to stay consistent with that identity. And if you don't feel like you are someone who does those things, you will not do them. And if you do them, you will show up for a little bit and then you will stop. Because the minute you start getting those successes, and the minute you start getting those accolades, and the minute you start getting those things, it's going to feel good for a minute, but your identity is going to kick in. There's a reason that 65 to 70% of NFL and NBA players, 65 to 70% of them, within 5 years of leaving the league, end up broke or bankrupt. How is that possible? The minimum salary is like $500,000. I don't know, give me a shot. I'll try. I won't be one of the 65 to 70%. But there's a reason that 65 to 70% of them end up broke or bankrupt, because they never shift their identity about the money. They never shift their identity about who they are, about where they came from, about how they earn the money, how they save the money, how they spend the money. They keep doing things the way they've always done, and your body has a strong tendency. The strongest thing that you will ever feel is to stay consistent with who you are. Because who here likes to be a liar? Who likes to be a liar? One person in the room. Congratulations. Who likes to be a liar? Not one of us want to be a liar. So we try to stay consistent with who we believe we are. But here's the problem. It's a big cycle. This is just a big cycle. Up here in the top left, you have your belief, who you believe you are. And the strongest force in the human brain and body is to stay consistent with who we believe we are. If I believe I am someone who doesn't do this, won't do that, would never treat someone that way, I'm going to get a certain level of potential to act that way. So if I feel like I'm somebody, I would never lie, I would never cheat, I would never steal, I would never do that. The potential that I have to lie, cheat, or steal is very small. The potential I have to never lie, cheat, or steal is very, very great, because I believe that's who I am and I want to stay consistent with it. And if that's the potential that I have, the actions I'm going to take are going to show that. I'm going to show you that I am not a liar, I'm not a cheater, I'm not a stealer, I will not do those things. And I will show up as that person over and over and over and over again in my actions. And those actions, what kind of results will I get from those actions? The results I'm going to get are people that see me as a dependable person, as a trustworthy person, someone who doesn't lie, doesn't cheat, doesn't steal, who shows up, is there to support them. I'm going to get those kind of results. And those results, when people treat me that way and they see me as that, and I see those results I get, it just reinstills the belief of who I think I am. And it says, see, I told you you didn't lie. I told you you didn't cheat. I told you you didn't steal. I knew that's the type of person that you were. Awesome job. Show up again. Let's do it even more. That's what they're going to say. But this is just like anything else in your life. If you will believe that you are not someone who will knock on doors, oh, I'm just not that type of person. If you believe you are not a salesperson, well, I'm just never been a natural. I'm good with people. I'm just not a good salesperson. The potential that you have to be a good salesperson automatically goes through the floor. The potential that you have to knock on doors automatically goes through the floor. Very, very low potential to do those things. And even if you did them, when you showed up and knocked on someone's door, it would be, you wouldn't want to buy anything from me, would you? You're not interested in selling your house now, are you? That's the actions that you're going to put forward. And those actions are going to give you results. And those results just see, I told you you weren't a salesperson. See, I told you you didn't knock on doors, and that's just not the best thing for you. We should go back to doing things the way that we used to do them, where we got all of those shitty results, because you didn't get great results from what you did before. If you did, you'd be successful. But most of us said, I don't feel successful. I know what it takes to be successful, but I'm not. And it's directly related to these things right here. I would ask you to, how many people believe that you are a salesperson? Not Not you are in the sales business. How many of you believe you are a good salesperson? A very good salesperson. When I say a salesperson, I mean somebody who uses VAK, DISC, rapport building skills, connection, creates a experience with someone. How many of you believe you are a great salesperson, a good salesperson? How many of you believe that? Yes or no? Me? Come on, guys, don't be afraid to chat something in. This is who you are. This is how you need to show up. And if you don't like the answers, then we need to face them and get over them quicker. How many of you believe you're a good salesperson? No? Got one. I'm all about experience and relationships. Me. How many of you believe that you're a good salesperson? Well, let me tell you this. Even if you said no, I'm going to tell you that you are an amazing salesperson. And here's why. Because you sell yourself short of your potential every single day. You're the greatest salesperson ever. You talked yourself into getting a real estate license, showing up in a real estate business, doing all of these things, and then not doing what it takes to be successful. You sold yourself on that idea. Because more than half of you said you are not successful in this business or not successful yet. Tell me I'm wrong. You're the greatest salesperson ever. You went through all of that hassle and all of that trouble to get your license, to do the training, to show up through our next level universities, to do some coaching, to do a little bit of work, only to not be successful. Congratulations. You're all amazing salespeople. I need you to start understanding how far belief goes. Belief is the basis of all of this. Your belief in who you are is going to dictate everything. It dictates the potential you have to take action. It dictates the action you will take. It dictates the results you're going to get from those actions. And those results just continue to feed that belief. So if you don't like the things you're getting, then we need to shift some of that energy. We need to shift some of those beliefs. We need to obliterate some of those limiting beliefs that are telling you I'm not enough, not good enough, not strong enough, not good looking enough, to not thin enough, not big enough, not tall, whatever the case is. You need to annihilate some of those beliefs. And that's what I want to help you do next Thursday. I want to help you get past some of those things to make the other feelings inside of you stronger, so that we can attach to those goals and eliminate, or at least bypass some of those beliefs in that moment. So you remember who you are. You remember at your core, in your heart, who you are and who you can show up as every day. Because once you see that little sign of who you really are and who you can show up as every single day, and you have that inside of you, it's really hard to forget. And you may go times where you feel like, I don't know, I remember that feeling and like it felt so good and I just don't know where it is anymore. But you remember it and it's there. And the brain doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what's actually real. So if we can get you back into that state and start vividly imagining and recreating those feelings, we can bring that back a little bit and help you create some more strong action. And again, when you have a strong reason, purpose, why, emotion, intention attached to action, you get better results every single time. A belief is a poor substitute for an experience. How many of you believe something about yourself that is not very empowering? I can't do this because. I can't lose weight because. I'm just not that type of person. I mean, I'm not a morning person. I'm not an evening person. I'm not a salesperson. How many of you have a belief like that that is limiting you? How many? And what would that be? Anybody want to chat in what that belief is? Some things, I can't have everything that I've always wanted because I'm not worthy of it. I'm not enough. That's one of mine. One of mine is one of my limiting beliefs that has been wiped clean is that I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. It'll never be good enough. No matter what I do, it'll never be good enough. No one will ever be happy with the outcome. I'm going to constantly keep trying and trying and trying. I'm never going to feel fulfilled, and I'm always going to be unworthy of that success and that fulfillment. How many of you have a belief like that in any way, shape, or form that makes you feel like you are not enough? I'm not smart enough to be successful. I'm not good at math. That's exactly. Anybody else? Any other beliefs that you have? Now, this belief, I can guarantee you, okay, so Lauren, I want you to get ready. If you're not driving, I want you to go ahead and I want you to get really, really good on your computer or your phone. I want you to get ready. I want you to pull up your chat box. And I'm going to ask you a question. I'm not good at math, okay? Ready? What's 2 plus 2? Type it in. Type it. Lauren, what's 2 plus 2? 4. Good. What's 2 times 2? Lauren, tell me. 2 times 2. All right. What's 10 plus 10? Go on. Keep going. What's 50 plus 25? What's 10 times 6? 11 times 9. If I buy a $200,000 house and I put 10% down, how much do I have to put down? $200,000 house, 10% down. What do I have to put down? Lauren, tell me. $200,000 house, 10% down. What do I got to put down? Chat me up. $200,000 house. $200,000 house, 10% down. 200,000, 10% down. Put it in. You missed the zero. 20,000. Yep, you missed the zero. I know you meant to put 20,000. You missed the zero. All right, so I just asked you a series of almost 10 questions. You got every single one of them right. Yet you're not good at math. 10 out of 10, but you're not good at math. So your belief is a poor substitute for the actual experience. The experience is that you are good at math. You can do math. Just because you can't do the square root of 2,362 and get whatever to the 8th decimal point doesn't mean you're not good at math. You do the math that you absolutely need and you can do, and you're very successful at that. But your belief is a poor substitute for the actual experience that you have. The experience you have is you're good at it, but you believe you're not for some silly reason. Why? Why do we do that? My English is poor. Lana, you speak English nearly all day. Everybody that I hear you talking to when you're on the phone, they understand you, know exactly what you're talking about and how you're going to do it. Yeah. And you have a 12-page contract that you've been able to completely fill out, put the numbers in, explain to buyers and sellers, and have done how many deals this year? Right? So 8 to 10 deals this year, and the contracts are in English, 12 pages of it in legalese, and somehow you still find a way to manage and understand English and make people understand you so they know what the hell they have to do. Wow, my God. See, that is just, you know what that is? It's BS. It's BS. So everybody tell me what BS is. It's BS. What is BS? Chat in and tell me what it is. BS. What does that stand for? What is it? Tell me what it is. Somebody chat. BS. What is it? Yes, it's a belief system, otherwise known as bullshit. That's what it is. A belief is a poor substitute for an experience. Now, you can have limiting beliefs and you can have empowering beliefs. How many of you have an extremely empowering belief about something? How about we share that one? Tell me what an extremely empowering belief that you have is. Because I had a couple people chat in within 5 seconds what their limiting belief was. I'm not good at math. I'm not smart enough to do this. I can't do that. I won't be here. So what is an extremely empowering belief that you have? Tell me an extremely empowering belief that you had. Quick, tell me. I'm friendly. I'm a good learner. Tell me another. Anybody else? Chat in. What's an extremely empowering belief that you have? Manifesting to the universe. Good. What else? An extremely empowering belief that I am this. I can that. I do this. Tell me. I am outgoing and nurturing. Great. Now, which one feels better? To think about I'm a good learner? I'm extremely friendly. I'm outgoing and nurturing. I can manifest anything that I want, or I'm not good at math. Which one feels better? Which one do you tend to focus on most? The negative. Our brain naturally goes towards the negative. It's meant to keep you safe, not successful. So we always go towards the negative. It's easier for our brain. It's so much easier for our brain to find everything that's wrong than to find everything that's right and everything that's good. It's just easier because your brain's there to keep you safe. So your brain will always look for what's wrong. So here's a little example for you, or a test for you. If your brain is constantly looking for what's wrong, if your brain is going to constantly be looking for what's wrong, let it find what's, don't try and step. I mean, it's hard enough. Look, well, just naturally, I find what's wrong. Okay, that's fine. Let's let that play out. Let's find what's wrong. Let's find the issue. Let's find the problem. And then let's find the opposite of the problem. What's the antithesis of the problem? I'm not good at math. What's the antithesis of that? I am good at math. Look, 2 + 2 is 4. 10 times 10 is 100. 20% of 200 is $40,000. Look at that. I'm great at math. I'm awesome. But why would we not do that? Why would we not find the opposite of that? What was another one? I'm not good at math. I'm not smart enough to be successful. Okay. Again, we'll go back to I'm not smart enough. How many deals did you do last year? You explained a 12-page legalese contract to buyers and sellers and helped them buy and sell their home. Walked them through that entire process, got an awesome, real satisfied review. You've bought a new car. You have a lot of cool things that are going on. I'm not mentioning your name, but I'm speaking to you directly. A lot of really cool things going on. You travel regularly. You've got a lot of people that love you and support you. And you've done all of that because you're not smart enough. What's the opposite of I'm not smart enough? Somebody give me, what's the opposite of I'm not smart enough? I'm intelligent. I can explain things clearly, and I help people get to where they want to be through the process of this real estate contract. When it comes to business, what's the opposite of that? I'm intelligent. Very good. Very simple. I'm intelligent. Here's the cool part. You can get anything that you want through this success cycle. You can help yourself and really transform some of the outcomes by changing some of the beliefs or changing some of the energy that's inside of you. You can change and get it results in advance because your brain doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what's actually real. So if we focus on the things that are actually true and not the BS belief system that you are carrying with you, when you focus on what's actually true, which is typically the opposite of what you feel and think, but you have some experience or something in your life that told you that that wasn't the case, but you've carried that with you for 20 years, even though you have 20 years of experience that says that's not who you are. You've carried this negative belief with you for so long. If we start to visualize the opposite of that limiting belief and start really feeling that and visualizing that and saying those things more regularly, you can start to create a different outcome. Because again, your brain doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what's actually real. Visualization is a key to kind of maximizing, accelerating your growth. Here's another question for you. What do you typically feel on most days? I want you, if you can, chat in what are the top emotions that you feel every day. The most prevalent emotions that you feel every day. Just write them down. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, it doesn't matter. What are the most prevalent emotions you have every single day? Somebody chat in. Tell me what you feel on a normal given day. What do you normally feel? Shout them out in the room. Write them down on here. What do you feel? Happy, grateful, mad, stressed, frustrated, tired? What do you feel? Type it in. What do you feel on any given day? Both of you right here, tired's going to be one of them. One's got a Monster, one's got a big ass cup of coffee. What do you feel on any given day? Tell me some of the emotions that you typically feel. Content, grateful. What are the ones you feel regularly? So you're driving in traffic, somebody cuts you off and you feel content. Bullshit. Stress. Anger. Worrisome. Anxious. What else do you feel? What do you typically feel on any given day? Overwhelmed. Gratitude, happy, frustration. All over the place. That's an awesome one. All over the place. I feel them all. Where's the spectrum? Let me show you. I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm up there. We got the whole thing. Let's do it. What else? Extremely grateful. Yeah, those are awesome. So what do you typically feel on any given day? Now I would like you to think about the quality of the emotions that you typically feel on any given day and pair that with how you feel about yourself in your life. And tell me if there's any correlation. So for whoever said the emotions you feel every day, all over the place, tell me, explain to me and tell me your life. What does your life seem like? And I guarantee you will say all over the place. And then tell me what you typically feel. If you were going to tell me about your day, your life, and how you are, all the emotions that you said, they equal life. And if you focus on them more, you will create more feeling of those emotions and they will get stronger. And then you will feel that in your life. So focus equals feeling. Now, I'm not seeing everyone's chats, because if you're chatting in, do me a favor, right above where you type, there's a drop down that says everyone or hosts and panelists. Change it to everyone if you can, just so everybody can see it. So we're talking about emotions that you feel every day. And are those emotions limiting or are they empowering? I would beg to say, if you're someone who says I'm not successful or not successful yet, the majority of your emotions are going to be more limiting, not empowering. You may have moments of empowerment, you may have moments of gratitude, but the majority of your emotions, whether you think so or not, here's the problem. Some of the things that are emotions to you are habits, and you don't think that they're an emotion. You just think it's just who I am. Your reaction to something, when your phone rings, your quick initial reaction, that's a little bit of anxiety, like, oh, okay, hold on. That's an emotion. And those are the things that compound throughout your day. And most of us don't have a control over those emotions. And those things become habits. And then the more you feel them, the more they add up. And next thing you know, you're feeling all over the place. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. I don't know what to do. I'm not sure how I feel. If we can get a better feeling for our emotions and our outcomes in our day, and we can understand the things we feel throughout the day, and we can start to control some of those habits and start to control some of those beliefs, make them more empowering beliefs, think more empowering thoughts, we can create better outcomes for you. All over the place. The reason that you're feeling a lot of the things you're feeling is because whenever anything happens to you, you're answering 3 questions like that in a heartbeat, and you don't even realize it. Those 3 questions are, what am I going to focus on? What does this mean? And what am I going to do about it? Everything that happens, what am I going to focus on? And I deal with a lot of you with some of your real estate problems, and I can tell you exactly what you're focusing on. This deal's falling apart. This buyer's an asshole. This listing agent doesn't answer my calls. They suck at their job and they are not good. You're not focused on the outcome. You're not focused on the experience. You're not focused on any of the other things that you have going. Or when you have 1 bad deal and 7 great deals, you're focused on the 1 bad deal and not the 7 great ones. And not using any of the success you have in those 7 great deals that are going on to carry over to the 1 bad deal. Well, what did I do in those 7 to make this awesome? How can I transfer that over to the 8th now that I'm dealing with this problem and create that same level of experience there? It's, what are you going to focus on? What does it mean? And what are you going to do about it? Your focus equals your feeling. Whatever you focus on is what you're going to feel. What you focus on expands. If you focus on everything that's going bad and everything that's going wrong and all the issues there, you're going to feel that more, and it's going to get bigger. Everything is perspective. If you're on your phone or on your computer, I want you to look in your little video where you see me walk back and forth. And then tell me, am I bigger or smaller than the people in your room? Tell me, am I bigger or smaller than anybody else or if you had somebody else sitting next to you, am I bigger or smaller than them? Am I bigger or smaller than them? Looking at the little screen up there on the right, am I bigger or smaller than them? Am I bigger or smaller? Answer the question. Am I bigger or smaller? I'm up here in this top little screen there. Am I bigger or smaller? than anybody else that's right next to you in the room that you're in? Smaller? The same size? But am I bigger or smaller? Anybody? Chat in. Am I bigger or smaller? It's not a trick question. Answer the question. It's not a trick question. It's really not a trick question. Am I bigger or smaller? I'm sorry. Let me stand still. I guess when I'm moving, I confuse some of you. Smaller, 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 same, smaller. Here's the answer. It's your perception. It's what was that? No. Am I bigger or smaller? It's perspective. It is your perspective. Here, watch this video real quick. Now this isn't meant to offend anybody. I don't care what you believe. Believe in the universe, believe in God, believe in whatever you want. I don't care. I have no dog in that fight. This isn't meant like that, but this is from a preacher. Awesome message. Just look at this. Actually, I already have it. Oh, nope, wrong one.
This is our Fearless hanging air freshener. If you don't have one of those, get one. They're awesome. And this is the car next to me. Now, let me ask you this question. Which one's bigger? The air freshener. In my perspective. So if the air freshener is bigger, how did it fit in my car? It didn't get bigger because it was in my car. It's bigger because I'm closer to it. So how is fear so much bigger than my God? How is anxiety so much bigger than my God? If your problem is big and your God is small, it's not that your God is small and your problem is big. It's that you're sitting closer to your problem than you are to your God. Look, the moment we start getting in God's presence, it's not that he changes sizes. It's that we see how big he is for the first time.
I just thought it's an awesome message. What is the biggest thing in you right now? If you're feeling fearful, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling down, upset, depressed, whatever, it's because you're sitting closer to that emotion and that feeling than you are to everything else that's in your life. How many of you right now, if I asked you to, even if you had to fight, kick, and scream, would find something to be grateful for in this moment? Raise your hand. Even if you were upset, how many of you would be able to do that? Raise your hand. But in those moments where you are feeling upset, depressed, anxious, tired, scared, all those limiting beliefs, not good enough, not strong enough, not tall enough, not skinny enough, whatever they are, I can't do math, you're sitting closer to your limiting belief than you are to the actual reality of it because your perception is skewed. You have to start seeing and giving yourself an opportunity to understand that process. Identify what's going on. I'm sitting closer to my problem. I'm sitting closer to my emotion. I'm sitting closer to the issue. Interrupt that pattern, because all emotions are just patterns. At some point in your life, something happened to you that caused you to react the way that you did, and you've carried that with you, and that's your safe spot. That happens, I do this. Someone does that, I get defensive and I stand up in there. No, that's not it. I didn't do that. I won't do that. Why would you say that about me? Somebody accuses me of something, I get really scared. I get quiet. I sit back in the car and I start crying. Those things have happened to you over time. And now all of a sudden you're sitting closer to those emotions because that's all it is a habit. We don't just feel emotions, we do them. Your heart starts beating, start breathing a little faster, start getting sweaty palms, and all of a sudden you feel anxious. If you can identify the emotions you're feeling and interrupt that pattern and then replace them with something that's empowering. How do you interrupt a pattern? Yes, ma'am. You can. How do you interrupt a pattern? Very good. How do you interrupt a pattern? If I said we don't, I just said we don't just feel emotions. We do emotions with our body, with our heart, with our breathing, with our nervous system, we do emotions. How could you change the pattern? If my body's going to do this, what if I did something to interrupt my body and stop my body from doing that? If you were going to get depressed, what do most depressed people do? Sit, sleep, talk low, breathe real shallow, head down. Don't breathe at all. That's a good one. That'll make you feel that way. Breathe shallow. I don't know. Do I talk with punctuation and really emphasis, or am I just monotone? And so if I was feeling like this and I wanted to change that, what could I do? How about try standing up, taking a deep breath? Watch my body when I'll put my hand on my chest and I'll stand. Watch my body when I take a huge deep breath. What changed? Everything. I even got up on my tippy toes when I started to take a deep breath. So if we do emotions with our body and we want to stop doing some of those emotions by interrupting those patterns, breathing is a key. Maybe we should try breathing. Maybe we should try moving our body. Maybe we should try doing something more powerful. Maybe we should try just moving. Maybe we get off the damn couch or out of a chair and go walk outside. Change our scenery, change our surroundings, change your physical body, change your breathing. And from there, that helps you to change your focus. Who here has gone to the gym and walked out of the gym and said, gosh darn it, I really wish I didn't go to that damn place today. I cannot believe I showed up at the gym today. I'm so pissed off at myself for doing that. Who here has done that? Who here has done that? Now on the even you could be literally exactly what you said. You could be limping out, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that." But I'm sure happy that I went because man, I feel a lot better. This is gonna suck walking around like this for a while, but you still feel better that you went, right? Why? Because you moved and changed your body. What happens when you go to the gym? What do you get when you get on the treadmill? What happens to your breath? Do you breathe like this? Or are you taking deeper breaths? When you're at the gym, do you just sit there like this and stare at people? Probably get kicked out and never be welcome back. Or do you get on a machine and start moving? Do you move faster or slower when you're at the gym? Faster. Do you breathe deeper or more shallow when you're at the gym? Do you typically think of everything that's wrong going on around you when you're at the gym? Or does that shit just go away and you're in there and you get it done? So in order to get to that point where things just wash away and go away, you change your body, change your breathing, change your physiology, focus on working out, focus on something else, focus on what you're doing, shift your focus. And if you were going to say something in your mind about when you're at the gym, what would you say to yourself in your mind when you're at the gym? What do you say to yourself? Anything. What do you say to yourself in your mind? What do you talk to yourself? One more? You got this? Just one more minute? Almost there? Man, I'm tired. No, we got to go. What do you say to yourself? If I do this, this is going to happen. And what do you visualize? You visualize the outcome, the things that you want, the things that you're getting, and then you still tend to push harder, push further, and do more. So if I was going to ask you skinny bitch. If I was going to ask you if you are in a depressed state, anxious state, worried state, upset state, what should you do? That's easy, Chris. Go to the gym. If you changed your body, moved your body, your physical state, if you changed your focus on something else, like at the gym, it's one more, do another one. I got this. You're strong. We do this. Almost there. I know we're not quite there, but we're on our way. So glad I came. Man, I'm sweating so much. That's a good thing. Change your focus, change your language, the things you're saying to yourself, and you feel better when you walk out. Chest out, shoulders back, and you feel good. And you've never once said, this is dumb as shit. I'm never coming back to this place. So if I was going to ask you to change the state that you're in of frustration, anger, worried, and anxious, any of those things, what should you do? Change your physiology, change your body, change your focus, change your breathing, change the language and the things you're saying to yourself. If I ask you, when things are going wrong in a deal, when things are going bad in a listing or a buyer or a contract, what do you typically say to yourself when things are going bad? It's a disaster. It's falling apart. This buyer's going to cancel. This agent's an a-hole. What if you said something different? Well, here's an opportunity. What can I learn from this? This is a minor inconvenience. What if how do I fix it? How do I fix it sometimes isn't the best question, though, because how do I fix it sometimes goes, you can't fix it. This guy's just an idiot. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants. Right? So we have to change. If you want to change your state, change your feeling, change the emotions you're feeling, get pushed past some of these limiting beliefs, you have to start getting control of your physiology. That's why if I'm ever working with somebody, because I've worked with a lot of people, whether it's personal training, work with people on their real estate business, work with people on an individual basis, trying to help them better some parts of their life, because they'll do some coaching outside of this. So whenever I'm working with somebody, one of the first things that I get them to do is get on some type of physical regimen. They don't have to go to the gym, but I need them doing something physical. I need you walking for 15 to 20 minutes a day. I need you moving, just walking at first. I need something changing. I need the physiology changing. I asked them to do some breathing exercises, just real simple breathing exercises. I asked them to focus a little bit more on their gratitude and write down at least 20 things that they're grateful for, that they could be grateful for in this moment. I asked them to write some intentional statements about themselves. Like, write down, if you were the person that you always wanted to be and believed you could be, tell me a couple statements about yourself that you would write down. I asked them to focus on the things they accomplished that day at the end of the day. And I asked them to wake up the next morning saying those things to themselves. So I asked them to do all of those things for a reason, because your physiology is the quickest way to change anything. If you're not feeling like doing something, if you're not feeling like you should, your physiology is the quickest way to change. And if I can get you to change your body, it doesn't happen right away. It takes a little bit of time, sometimes a month, 2 months, sometimes 3 months, because inevitably what happens is you come back and I say, how many times did you walk this morning? We're supposed to walk 7 times this morning. How many do it? They say 2 or 3. And if they keep showing up, every week it gets more. Every week it gets stronger. And then we start adding in at the end of a 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk, we start doing some squats, push-ups, sit-ups, even if it's just 10, 10, and 10, and that's it. And then we keep adding a little bit more and adding a little bit more. And every time you're doing that, you're feeling more accomplished. Those things. Now, if you feel more accomplished and you feel better about your morning, how are the next couple hours going to go? Better than they did before, right? Because when you got up out of bed and you raised up out of bed and you started stumbling to the bathroom and you tripped over a chair and then you realized that you didn't wash the clothes you wanted to wear the night before, you left something outside and it rained and your shoes are wet, and you start getting pissed off and angry and bothered, or you get a text, you wake up to an email and you see an email from 2 a.m. Why the hell would somebody email me at 2 a.m. about a contract? I can't believe they would do that. And you start reading it and they say, and the buyer wants this, 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 and this. You're like, it's an as-is contract. I can't believe they would even send that over to me. Do they not understand what as-is? Which one is better? Waking up like that, or waking up with a feeling of accomplishment, of being a little bit more fulfillment, doing something, feeling better emotions, being more focused, feeling more gratitude, changing your body, changing your physiology? Which one is better? Those are the ones that are better. And I got a lot to go, and I only got 3 minutes. So here's a couple questions for you. I would ask you to start, before we get into Monday, I'd ask you to start thinking of these things. If you do anything before Monday, this is what I would ask you to do. Write down something to this effect. What does an extraordinary life look like for you? Because I guarantee none of you have sat down, none of you, and if you say you do, you lie about other shit too, I promise you. You've never sat down and really pictured out what the absolute most extraordinary life looks like for you. Everything that you've ever wanted, everything, if you believe that you can achieve everything that you've ever wanted, if you showed up as who you really are in your true strength and you got all of those things, what does that extraordinary life look like for you? Whatever it is, what does it look like? Start thinking about that. Start writing those things down. What is that extra? What do you feel on a daily basis? What have you achieved? What do you continually achieve? What kind of income do you have? What kind of relationships do you have? What does that extraordinary life look like? What's your spirituality like? What's your finance? What's your career? What emotions do you feel on a daily basis? What is that? What does an extraordinary life look like for you? Thank you. What does an extraordinary life look like for you? Happiness. Right? And so you brought up a good point. So if we start thinking about that, what do you typically tend to do? And thank you for pointing that out. People typically fail because they start to look back. If you want to be certain of an outcome, what should you do? Look forward to things that haven't happened? Be in the present where I don't know what's going to happen? Things are just coming to me at any minute? No, look backwards at all the shit that's already happened. And let's be certain about, I know if I keep doing that, that's going to be that much. No, it's going to do the same thing again. No, see, that's the thing. Most people fail because they keep looking backwards. There's a reason your rear view mirror is only this big and your windshield is this big, because you got to be looking forward. If you want to be certain about an outcome, you have to create the certainty within you, not from the past, because the past doesn't equal the future unless you live there. And most people don't want the same thing they had in their past. So if we want to create a strong outcome and a strong feeling of certainty, we have to create that certainty. When you walk out of the gym, how certain do you feel in what you're doing and in your body and in your goals and in what you're doing? Do you feel more certain, less certain than when you showed up there? More certain. So if we want to create more certainty, we need to change our body, change our focus, and change our language that we're saying to ourselves, correct? A couple things for you. Identify the pattern, identify what you're feeling, interrupt it, and replace it with something more empowering. So what that extraordinary life, the next question is, what's preventing you from living that life? But not just myself, because that's a cop-out answer. Me. Yeah, no shit. That's the only reason we haven't done anything in the way, because we're the ones getting in the way. So what's the reason that you don't have that? This is where it really gets hard. What is preventing you from living that extraordinary life? Yeah, but what are they? I know the beliefs. I understand the beliefs, the feelings, the emotions, my actions. But what are they? What are those beliefs that are limiting you and stopping you from being able to live that extraordinary life? I already told you. Don't make me say it again. I already told you once. And then the next question is, what do you need to change now to make that life happen and live life on your terms? What would you need to change now? If those are the beliefs and things that are stopping you from having all of those things and creating a life that you want, what do you need to change now? What are the most stressful thoughts that show up consistently in your life, and what triggers them? And then what's the opposite of those thoughts? So I didn't mean to rush through those, but we're getting at 9:30. But if you're trying to make a change and you want to really create to a big ass smile goal before the end of the year and get into next year, how about we know what a big ass smile is? What does life look like on my terms? What does an absolutely extraordinary life on my terms look like? And then we have to know what's stopping me from living that life. Then we have to know what we need to change in order to live that life. We have to know what would stop us from changing, and we need to know what the opposite of that is. How many of you feel confident and comfortable that you could do all of those things on your own and not get off track? Exactly. That's why you need a coach. That's why you need somebody to help walk you through these things, to help remind you of the direction you need to. I'm not here to pump you up, to make you feel great. I'm here to help guide you through these processes to help you get to where you want to be. And if you want to make some of these changes, show up next Thursday. We're going to start doing some of those things in person. We'll start trying to create some more of those goals, start trying to bring in a different level of emotion and attachment to them so that we can really step into a different level of feeling to set a different goal rather than the goals you've always set. Because I guarantee the goals you've set, they may be goals that you want, but they're not goals that'll make you feel successful. You'll get them, and then there's going to be, oh, well, that's it. You'll feel good for about 2 months, 6 months, maybe a year. And you're like, well, I thought I'd be happy if, but not anymore. That's what happens. So I'm late. You guys have an awesome Wednesday. If you need anything, feel free to reach out, and have an awesome day. I will talk with you all soon.